we really tried to discern properly how to go about the next few stages and steps of everything. And we've been very intentional in a way that always keeps Charlie first and his dreams alive and his legacy going. And what's so beautiful is to see all of you step in and do that. And so part of the reason why I agreed to come on, because this is not going to be a forever thing of me being on hosting the show, was because I gave assurance to people that Turning Point USA is continuing, and it is.
Yo, so we back in here for another edition of F-ya-Motha, and this is gonna be a 2-for-1 special. I've done 2 videos back to back of this nigga, Forgiano Blow. First video I did of him, his tribute to Charlie Kirk, even though he big, dumb, and slow and remedial, probably didn't even know who Charlie Kirk was until he got smoked. Just a bandwagoner, right? Trying to ride the wave. Well, it looks like he's took into Twitter to complain about him getting his last video with JJ Lawhorn pulled off Apple Music, as it should be. He gets on Twitter and says, "My new album, America's Turning Point, is getting buried by industry while Young Thug's album with White Faces charting ahead of mine. The irony. Hollywood doesn't blink at that, but they ban me for speaking my truth. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments." All right, sir. My thoughts are, because you ain't black and you're a culture vulture, and they want your big dumb white ass to be doing something other than black music because you're not using it for the purposes that it was intended for, making racist songs about hanging people that you find treasonous in this country. And when you know the long-standing history of lynching, they should have kicked you off the platform. Now what Young Thug is doing, the white face thing, that's not even a thing. Anybody that wants to compare whiteface to blackface is a moron, doesn't read books. I'm not even going to go into the reason why it's not a one-to-one argument. It just is different, and it's not offensive. And if you find it offensive, you're a jackass. But I will say, he's never deviated from that title, so me saying he's a jackass just is confirmation. In any event, speaking on jackasses, this happened a couple days ago on the 26th as Tim Allen forgives driver who killed his father after being deeply affected by speech from Charlie Kirk's widow, Erika Kirk. Now, this soulless bitch has actually gone on to run his affairs at Turning Point. As what? I don't know. And the dudes that she was sitting up there, kaka, and kikiing with, they didn't look too comfortable with her up there, right? Like, your man just got killed and you talking about you gonna keep his legacy going, and ain't nothing gonna happen but one of them dudes gonna try to put the moves on her, fuck her. And she looked like a smut. Not to mention, there was a picture of her on social media. She didn't even look the least bothered by the death of her freshly married husband, right? So the fact that she's on trying to keep his memory alive and run his company, Turning Point USA, is heartless and creepy in itself. But the fact that she says she forgive the shooter, that right there is some sellout shit. Somebody smoke your loved one, whether you white, black, whoever you are. That's weird. I'm not forgiving nobody that take out one of my family members, with the exception of my dad. But anybody else, you gotta go. You know what I'm saying? That forgiveness shit, that's played. It doesn't even matter if you're a Christian, bro. A lot of people be trying to use that as a shield because they're a coward. And the fact that Tim Allen from Home Improvement says she was inspiring for him to forgive the dude that killed his father in a botched robbery. Well, he was a snitch. So, like, I'm not surprised. Of course, he thought that, I'll forgive the dude because you're a coward, bro. He's testified against niggas he was smuggling cocaine with back in the 80s. So, I'm not listening to nobody that is a once upon a time snitch. You know what I'm saying? If you a snitch and you fold and buckle under pressure. You always was a coward. You told on people, bro. Telling on people might as well got you Coward of the Year award. So you saying that she was inspiring to make you forgive the dude that smoked your dad, that's just confirmation that you just a coward, bro. And some people just need to own their cowardiceness. Now she's a woman, so like I don't really put her being a coward up on the table, but for him, the fact that he crawled out from under whatever rock he was under to say that bullshit, he could have stayed underneath there. Matter of fact, I want to say Tim the Toolman Taylor is, I don't know why I'm calling him Tim the Toolman Taylor, but Tim Allen, nigga's like 72 years old, bro. You almost out of here. Forgiven or not, it ain't gonna make a damn difference. You still going to the crossroads in about, hopefully, in your case, 8 years. Motherfuckers be living to be 80 years old, bro. Like shit. Well, white people do live to be 96, so he might got another 25 years left, 22, 23 years left. I'll give him that. But yeah, siding with her, she's already a fucking scumbag, right? She didn't even look like she was the least bit bothered by Kirk getting smoked. I didn't see a tear come down her face in any picture or video that she's been on. So yeah, it just screams creepiness. Not only that, somebody actually said that the stadium at the State Farms Arena was already booked in May for the 21st of September before he was even killed. So
sources inside the Arizona Sports and Tourism Authority, which manages State Farm Stadium, are stating that Turning Point USA rented the stadium for a September 21st event back in May. Yeah. You tell me. There's nothing on Turning Point's website. There's nothing in Turning Point emails. And Charlie Kirk had not mentioned anything special going on at State Farm Stadium on September 21st, but magically, they had already rented the facility 4 months before his death.
I don't want to get into this conspiracy theory shit, but there's a good chance that Donald Trump had him knocked down, and she was in like some way, somehow they've either explained to her that, yo, we had to put your man down because he was on some dumb shit, or she was in on it. Me personally, I'm not a big believer of coincidences. I don't believe in conspiracies. I think people actually be plotting to have you smoked or taken out. If you coming up in the world and you get killed, it's not by happenstance. I don't believe in freak accidents happen. Yes, they do. Not that often. And that shit just looked too calculated. Like, he's in a all white city talking about gun violence, and he happens to get killed by some reject that had a boyfriend and was trans or queer, whatever identifying. And I want to hear the explanation of these, but I don't even think these people actually be the suspect. I think they just take a picture of a nigga. They like, in a world of worlds, not getting conspiratorial or anything, who's to say that they didn't pay somebody to smoke them, take a picture of them, put on a whole charade like they was getting arrested, and just let them out through the back door? This is America. It's ran by white supremacy. Just like wasn't JFK was smoked, then his brother was smoked, then Jack Ruby was clipped. Nobody's ever went to prison for the murder of JFK or RFK. And that don't make anybody wonder like if the government was really behind the shit. So yeah, just something to think about. The fact that like this all looks like a coincidence. And not even that, when my man was shot in the neck, yes, blood did spill out, but they picked him up and carried him to the car, which I thought if somebody was seriously injured, you're supposed to leave him on the ground, call the ambulance or paramedics, not pick him up and remove the body. That's how people get further injured. But what do I know? I'm just a nigga from Ohio. any event, if y'all like this episode, I know I got caught up on a tangent, but my original point was that, of course, Tim the Toolman Taylor was gonna forgive the nigga that killed his father after seeing Erika forgive the shooter that shot Charlie Kirk. He was a coward. So anybody, and while I went on a tangent that lost the marquee of my point, that was the point. In any event, if y'all like this episode, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm out.
No.